So I'll do the whole thing in English and the last thing I'll repeat.
Okay.
So in the case of this film, what is the new usage of motion capture that maybe we haven't seen in other films before?
In this movie, we have never. Okay, let me start over. Before this movie, we have never used two HD cameras to capture the facial performance. This is the first time ever that we're going to be using those two cameras. And what's important about it is that the amount of data that we're getting is incredible. The tone of the movie is very reality-based and very reality-grounded, so we needed to get performances that were incredibly detailed and faithful, and we needed to translate that performance onto the digital characters. So from that point of view, we're capturing on top of that 4 performances for the Turtles plus Splinter plus Shredder. So in some cases we have 6 or 7 characters that we are capturing at the same time. And that is definitely a challenge. I think you're going to see fidelity in that performance that you have never seen before.
The way the film is shot, because I went to your set visit 2 weeks ago, where you have the actors do the thing, and then you have just the voice. Can you maybe explain that process? It seems quite a lot, but then I'm sure at the end.
Well, because of the methodology that we chose to do this with, we basically have to shoot the movie about 3 times. We have talked to Jonathan Lewsman at the beginning of the project, kind of thinking about methodologies and thinking about how we wanted to do it. We always thought that it would be best if he had 4 actors, for the Turtles on the set, and he'd be directing those performances as if he was directing a normal, regular movie. And I think that brought in some challenges in terms of capturing the technology. I think that we first do the performances, then we need a clean plate of it, so we ask the actors to step back but to still say the lines, and so we move the camera around as if the actors were there. That is so that we can paint things through. And then eventually we go through an editorial process in which we choose performances, put them in the movie, and then go back to how we capture those performances, the data of it, and apply that data to the digital character, and then we put the character on top. So that is a very, very rigorous, process, very time-consuming. That means that you're basically, like I said, shooting the movie 2 or 3 times.
The Turtles, because you showed us
the maquettes.
They're amazing. Can you maybe describe kind of the thought process behind how they're built? Because they're really strong looking.
Yes. I think that when you're taking a Turtle franchise, you're very careful of the mythology of the characters, where they came from, and you take them 30 years down the line and you imagine where they would be. So the designs that Jonathan and Michael Bay came up with, and we also develop, are very heroic, very kind of darker. We always wanted to differentiate the 4 characters, the 4 Turtles, and you do that through several things. It's about the way they look, how different they look, but it's also about what the characters are about. One of them is a funny one, the other one is a smart one, the other one is a strong one, the other one is a leader one. You just always play that throughout the movie, and if you're consistent with the tone, you're going to end up loving those characters, and at the end, rooting for them and understanding why it's so difficult to be a turtle or mutant, in the middle of New York, and how lonely that experience could be, but also how rewarding it could be trying to be a superhero.
The weapons are also fan favorites. Mm-hmm. So was there any kind of tinkering in terms of how you had to design it, in terms of how it looks on screen? Did you play around with certain things?
The weapons is another thing that we looked into, not only updating that from 30 years ago, but also, well, giving them a little bit of technology, especially because Donatello is so much into technology. That was kind of an open door. We could do all kinds of things, especially because if you take a look at technology 30 years ago from then now, you can see a lot of screens and a lot of things. I remember being in Tokyo like 15 years ago and seeing everybody talking on their phone and texting. I was thinking, that'll never happen, So that opened the kind of the door to giving Donatello all kinds of technology.
Was there a hardest sequence that you had to shoot that was like, even on paper, you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be interesting, like, what can you describe?
I think there's a snow sequence that is really difficult. The ending is very difficult. I think there are all kinds of chases and action, scenes. However, I'm going to tell you that the most difficult thing that we're doing have to do with developing the characters in quiet moments. In a regular visual effects movie, if you were to graph it, you have visual effects and then character development, visual effects, character development. When we do character development, we do visual effects. And so in this specific movie, so the model is very, very different. So you end up with, if a movie has 2,400 cuts or something like that, this movie could end up having 1,600 cuts of just, characters. So that is one of the most difficult challenges.